Good morning everybody and welcome to the first ever match reaction video on the Leeds Daily channel, and I hope you're alright this morning. I know we lost against Crystal Palace, but I hope you're actually doing very well. But we're going to be diving into our first ever match reaction on this channel, and I'm just going to start off by saying that I am truly disappointed in the result. We went to Selhurst Park, should I say. Being quite optimistic, I did think we should have won that game, especially how we started off in the first 20 minutes or so, because I was saying to my granddad, it's like, at the start of the game I predicted the game to be a 1-1 draw, and before Eze scored, my granddad goes, "Oh, it looks like you're going to be right, you're going to get the result right." And obviously, a few minutes later, Eze scored to make it 2-1 to Crystal Palace. So, my thoughts on the game. For the first 20 minutes, I was very, very pleased on how we came out. But I feel like with Jesse Marsch, I feel like it's like the title said, it's like schoolboy tactics, where you pretty much go on the field and just run around ragged and just everything's at 100%, everything at 100 miles an hour, everything isn't organised, there's no cohesion of the team, there's no tight tactics, there's nothing to suggest where the ball's going to go, how we defend, how we attack and stuff like that. Obviously we are an attacking force, we are an attacking team, and that's how we set up, and that's how Jesse Marsch wants to play. But I've always said, even when Jesse Marsch came in and when Bielsa got sacked, I said to my dad, I was like, I've personally, this is my opinion, I've personally preferred wide attacking football. Just like, in a sense, if we're going to deploy the narrow system, right? I know Liverpool aren't doing very well this season, but why can't we play a system where we defend narrow and attack wide? Exactly what Liverpool do. They defend very narrow, well, not very narrow, but they defend narrow and they attack very wide. But with Leeds United, we defend narrow and we attack narrow, and I hate that. The amount of times where Jack Harrison had the ball or Brendan Harrison had the ball in the middle of the park, there was no wide options, there was no wingers or wing backs bombing down the wings to give us that width. And this is what a lot of these Leeds fans are crying over and shouting about and getting annoyed about, because Christensen and Struijk, I thought Christensen and Struijk did well, especially in the defending area, apart from, yes, we lost 2-1. But when it comes to that attacking threat, fair enough, Struijk did all right. He did manage to actually get a few crosses in this time, where in the previous games he's been very hesitant to get the ball, like to cross the ball. But it's still, I still think it's a negative way of playing football, because if we're constantly playing narrow defensively and attacking, then I personally don't see an outcome. Because if you compare the first two halves, right, Crystal Palace could not handle Leeds United's press. They could not handle our speed, our way of playing, because as soon as we get the ball, it's bang, 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 right? And I said this to my granddad, I was like, sometimes it works, but a lot of the time it doesn't work. And when Leeds United get the ball, it's like, okay, well, you have it. No, you have it. Now you have it. Now you have it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, a lot of the time, other clubs, they're very, like, they've got more composure on the ball. Like, with Leeds, it's just frantic. It's just frantic play. And when teams can break that down and can exploit our weaknesses, we're in trouble. And I feel like teams can already read us. And I personally don't think we can do much with Jesse Marsch. So, is Jesse Marsch in? Are you anti Jesse Marsch, or are you for Jesse Marsch? Right now, I am in the middle. I'm a bit hit and miss. Like, I like Jesse Marsch as a person, his charisma, his passion, his personality. It's very contagious and it's very addictive, right? He's very positive and he's very uplifting. But if he's going to be constantly being so positive, even after when we lose, like, even the commentator said it's like Leeds United can be positive about the first half. Yes, we can be. But what about the second half? We had, what was it? Was it 7 or 8 shots in the first half, right? And I think we had about 48% of the ball. Excuse me. What happened to the second half? What happened to the second half? We had 0 shots. I think we had maybe 1 shot when Gelhardt set it up for him and he scuffed it and it went straight into the keeper's arms. That's it. Crystal Palace had 1 shot in the first half, scored 1 goal, yeah? Second half, they came out and I think they had around about 8 or 9 shots. They came out the second half playing more wide football. They played better on the ball. And when teams do that against Leeds United, we cannot cope. We cannot cope against teams who play football against us. And it was a little bit like Bielsa. But I can see more faults in this system than we did in Bielsa. Fair enough, Bielsa is a better manager, in my opinion, than Jesse Marsch. But the thing is, we have better quality on the field. So, have we improved from the season before? Or is it just the fact that we expected Leeds to be better this season because of the new era with Jesse Marsch, because of the quality of players we have on the field? Like, personally, I don't like the narrow system. Personally, I prefer a wider attack. I've always done that. But I cannot see how we can continuously grow as a team if we're not going to be showing that on the pitch. Because in interviews, right, the 49ers, Radrizzani, Jesse Marsch have all come out and said, we want to improve. We want to be challenging for such and such. We won't be challenging for relegation, right? And these Leeds fans who are very delusional are sitting there saying, yeah, but we're in 14th now with 3 points above the relegation zone. And fair enough, we are 3 points off. But the games that we've had, right? The games that we've had, we should have beaten Southampton. We was 2-0 up. And somehow we managed to throw that lead away. We was very comfortable in that game. And then the Everton game. On paper, that must have been a 3-point. That must have been like a 6-pointer, right? We should have beaten them. But a draw, personally, in my opinion, is a fair result because Leeds were the better side when it came to Everton. But when you sit back like Everton did and put every single man again behind the ball, it's going to be very difficult for a team like Leeds who attack to score and break down. And we are very guilty for leaving a few people back, Cooper and Koch. And if all of our men are up the field, we're going to get exposed at the back and we're going to get counted on. And I get that's how he wants to set up, and I get that's how he wants to play his tactics and stuff like that. But we cannot go to places like, fair enough, Crystal Palace was a tough game and a point would have been really good, right? But a 2-1 loss now. When we beat Chelsea, we was looking up there and we was getting excited. But now we've picked up 2 points in 15 games. 2 points in 15 games is terrible. We've gone from looking up to mid-table, now looking at over our shoulders at the teams below us and thinking, shit, we're in a dog hunt now. Like, we need to start picking up points, because if we're not careful, we will be in that relegation battle again next season. And I cannot see, if Jesse Marsch keeps on losing and isn't picking up points and is dropping points and we're getting draws and we're getting losses, it's going to come to the point where, okay, well, you've been given everything you wanted. We've spent over £110 million this summer window. We've brought in 8 players. We've given you everything that you wanted. Why aren't you giving us the things that we want? you're not performing, your tactics aren't working. So is it a case of we get rid of Jesse Marsch, or again we strengthen again in summer, in winter? And with the World Cup being coming on, like this stories about Leeds United going after Cody Gakpo, right? Leeds is supposed to be winning the race for Cody Gakpo above Manchester United, but when the World Cup happens and Cody Gakpo starts for Holland, and he has an amazing World Cup, his value now is between 30 and 40 million now, right? When it comes to the World Cup and say he gets, like, say 2 goals and an assist, or 2 goals and three assists, that valuation could go up to like £50 million. And Leeds United are not going to pay 50 million quid for Cody Gakpo. So it's either that or nothing. So end of the day, it's been a piss poor game. I'm very unhappy with the second half. Things need to change. We're definitely not going to beat Arsenal at the weekend. I mean, it might be a shock result and we might win them, but I can't see that happening. So in the end, I'm very disappointed. But anyway, guys, if you did, this is just a quick one because I'm at work. But if you did enjoy this, please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and then I'll see you on the next one.